When my senior year began, I walked into the counselor's office to get my GPA for college applications. I'm a responsible guy, and I have nagging parents. As the counselors wrote it down on a slip of paper, I was pleasantly surprised. My GPA had surged towards 100. I'd always pictured myself at an Ivy League, until I realized something. That wasn't my GPA. It was my class rank. Reality check. Looks like I might have to go to Tyler Junior College instead. Which is really the Harvard of Northeast Texas. Okay. Once I took the SAT and scored in the 50th percentile. I had to face the fact that I'm average. And I'm not just talking about my grades. After a few quick Google searches, I also found that I'm also average in height, TV viewing habits, family income, and apparently choice of search engine. I'm stuck in the middle. The only thing not average about me? My looks. I'm a regular Justin Timberlake. I mean, let's be honest. If we ever lost sexy again, I'm the kind of guy you trust to bring it back. We live in a, if you're not first, you're last society. A Pew Research Center survey reveals that 81% of 18 to 25-year-olds' number one goal in life is to get rich. Our culture has lost touch with reality, valuing individuality above collectivism, and standing out instead of standing together. That is my concern. I'm not saying initiative should go unrewarded, but maybe our lives wouldn't be so miserable if we weren't always pressuring ourselves to be so perfect. We won't get a home run every time. But that shouldn't be why we're up to bat in the first place. We're supposed to play for the love of the game. I myself might have a better GPA if my math teachers would relate to my first love, baseball. I care about signing that button on the calculator when the Rangers are doing it, and I'm all about average. Batting, that is. To get a grasp of what it means to embrace our mediocrity, we must first warm up by analyzing the error of overperforming. Then, step up to the plate and examine what causes our above-average aim. And finally, understand why it's okay if we don't always knock it out of the park. Our overperforming problem is cultural. As children, we learn valuable lessons about American prosperity. We're number one, right? Think again. Take note on the opening scene of Aaron Sorkin's The Newsroom. Jeff Daniels' character is asked, what makes America the greatest country in the world? There is absolutely no evidence to support the claim that we're the greatest, he says. We are 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, and 178th in infant mortality. We lead the world in only 3 categories. Number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Our nation's report card looks a lot like mine, yet here we are holding on to our prominence like Rose didn't hold on to Jack. There's no doubt about it. We're obsessed with overachieving. Wait, time out. Even the word mediocrity sounds too fanciful. I mean, why not just call it averagilityness? Okay, maybe that's why. However, the same philosophy has infiltrated our search for that special someone. When asked what you're looking for in the perfect companion, you probably list off that they should be smart, funny, beautiful, and have a big ol' personality. I'm a wholesome guy. But finding the perfect person is impossible. There's just not enough of me to go around. I'm kidding, I know my body's built like a perpetual before picture. But seriously, having realistic expectations is a lesson we are having a hard time learning. When asked, what idea would help people have a better understanding of their place in this universe? University of Minnesota biologist P.Z. Myers evens up the score for us by pointing to the mediocrity principle. fundamental to science. The mediocrity principle asserts that, well, you aren't special. The basis of the principle is that you aren't the center of the universe. America isn't divinely invincible and nobody wants to see her fourth selfie of the day, hashtag no filter. Although scientifically defensible, the mediocrity principle is one of the most contentious concepts for people to grasp. It's the same contention that birthed the millennial idea that success is a right and should be instantaneous. Now that concept is so confusing that I don't even think Dora could explore it. Come on. Some things take time, like puberty finally hitting Justin Bieber. No. It's rude to hit girls. The millennial sense of entitlement, psychologically referred to as American Idol syndrome, asserts that all you have to do to become a millionaire is to want it enough. Well, you can take that mentality to the unemployment line, because it doesn't work. But you don't actually have to do any work to make money, right, Kim Kardashian? No, I'm happy for Kim and her baby Northwest, because, that kid knows what's up. And slightly to the left. Ignore the Kardashian factor. The answer isn't to stop working hard, but to accept the fact that we can't all be the best. Somebody has to be the salutatorian, the vice president, or the third relatable example in the list, because extempors taught us that things always come in groups of three. Being the bench warmer isn't as bad as one might have thought. According to information taken from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American has a job, owns a cell phone, is a homeowner, and is in good health. It sounds to me like the bases are loaded in the average guy's favor. But we can afford to learn a lesson or two from self-described average guy Harry Stamps, who died on March 9th, 2013. Most people never met Harry, but thousands read his obituary when it went viral online, which is rare considering there were no cat videos. As his grand slam of an obituary recounts, Harry loved Vienna sausages, hated daylight savings time, and was a member of the Bacon of the Month Club, the sheer existence of which should restore our faith in humanity. The obituary concludes by asking everyone, in honor of Harry, to write their congressperson and ask for the repeal of daylight savings time. Harry wasn't a superhero, but what made him so relatable was his humanity. And let's forget the jokes for a minute. Here's where we get serious. Because for some, it isn't about how good they are at the game, but whether it's worth it to play the game at all. Like 22-year-old mechanical engineering student Davison Barron, who took a gun to his head after realizing that he failed a class and wouldn't graduate this year. Investigators found a laptop next to Barron's body with a message across the screen that read, "I'm sorry, and I quit." We must recognize we have doomed a generation when failure becomes fatal. We're not all going to get to play in the big leagues or attend an Ivy League, but that's not the purpose of the game. So, here's to you, salutatorians, silver medalist, average Joes, and my plain Janes. It's time to get back in the game. Don't worry about when life will throw you the next curveball. Even if you're like me, and you don't have an all-star lineup. It's not always about being first. We have left our hopes and aspirations in the dugout for far too long. We've grown fearful of being pitched never gonna make it, or not good enough. It's okay to just be okay. If you avoid playing the game for fear of striking out, then you will miss out on all the special moments, the extra innings. So enjoy life. Take a swing, because before you know it, it will be going, gone.